Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They got me by the Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I run no diamonds but I feel shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a Dalu. The hardest blood on my tongue. Thinking this is warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist but you smell me. One spark and I bet you I'ma blow up. They throw my name around. Get stupid then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink than go pull up, but took a knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat out the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, call me brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the plaques, you Decepticons. Straight rappers to the streets like Cobra. 80s they can float it like up in the storage and I'm E-man. Up, down, man, I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beating. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle Clans get defeated. High in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like Maracas, my whole to the A, and I bet you can stop us. LL bad when I go and show up. You can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him
What's up? What is going on, everybody? It's your man Drake Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Drake Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning. Well, actually, it's 8 o'clock in the morning Central Time. 9 o'clock on the East Coast. You're from the West Coast. You might as well go ahead and get up because the early bird gets the worm. And I do apologize for the 30-minute late start. I put in the chat, my MacBook decided it wanted to update all of it. It just wanted to update the whole entire everything. So, instead of being, I had to wait around for it. So instead of just rushing everything, I just, let's bump up 30 minutes. I'm not going to be on here like super duper long anyway, because I'm just going to give an explanation why Thunderbolts is peak cinema and no one cares. And I'm going to tell you why. No one cares. And it's sad that no one cares. So I'm going to explain to you. Since I wasn't on the Blurred AF and Mika got me messed up. It ain't no way that I'm going to be on here for 3 hours talking about nothing. I am too tired. I worked last night and I'm tired. Ain't got no time. So hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gan over at the Heavy Gan Reacts channel. But you already know, if you've been here long enough, you know how I go. The real question is, All right. Let me see who is all up in here. I know some of y'all came early. Roberta is in the house. Good morning. Marley Mart is up in here. Good morning. Pam Entertainment Television. Sister Pam is up in here. Good morning. Tracy Woods. Good morning. Junior Network. Good morning. Eric Shaw. Good morning. And but I think this is different. This is a little bit different. I'm going to tell you why this movie is different. Andre Ware, good morning. Tina, a.k.a. Mitzi Guys, I'm Sister Tina. I'm going to have to get you Sister Pam and Sister Tina up in here. Good morning. American Need Girl, good morning. Glad you guys showed up. Let me see. What's up, the Sick Horror Kingdom? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Torian Brain Reloaded. What's up? What's up? He said, you know what's right at High Centers is still dominating after 3 weeks. You are not lying. Earl Hughes, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. And so last night I was watching the Blurred AF, or I was actually not watching, I was listening to the Blurred AF and trying to cut in, every time that I get. And shout out to Mika and shout out to Blue for, holding down the Blurred AF without me. You know what I mean? I had a really good conversation about the Thunderbolts, aka Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, the New Avengers. Shout out to Comics Explain, because that's all he used to talk about. Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, the New Avengers. Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, New Avengers. And guess what Marvel did? Jonathan Hickman's New Avengers with very much New Avengers. That's what they did. They basically went Dark Reign in this. Now, what the main issue of why no one cares about this movie is twofold. Number one is I don't believe it's superhero fatigue. I believe it's Marvel fatigue. I believe that Marvel has done so much that a lot of people just did not care for over parts of phase 4 and phase 5. Even Deadpool making fun of them was just not the best move. I'm just be honest with you. Every time I see that part, like you're coming in at kind of a low point, you're like, you know what I'm saying? It is, but damn, but Deadpool's that type of character. We'll point that out. Purp-minded, what's up? What's up? He will point that out, especially in the comics. He will point out all kinds of, that fourth wall breaking, awareness type thing. And for me, there has been, of course, what they have done to some of the Black heroes, to me, has been egregious. And that's what I was trying to get at, why I was saying why I hate Marvel so much, but because I love it so much. And trying to explain that is basically you see what they're doing with the Black characters, but I also like the white characters and the Asian characters and stuff like that. So I'm caught in a crossfire. But just think of other projects they have done that have starred a Black actor like Nick Fury, and they completely dropped the ball on the whole entire series. Like, you have this excellent setup in the first couple episodes, it's just really good, and then it ends on a freaking whimper. Like, it is so bad towards the end, Secret Invasion, or what they thought was clever and cute, with She-Hulk. What's up, Blue? You know what I mean? So, and again, thank you and Mika for holding it down last night while I wasn't here. Because I sure wanted to jump in the conversation, but I gotta get this paper. I got stuff I gotta do. Okay, we gotta be at BlurCon. It's at BlurCon or HorrorCon. I gotta be in North Carolina. So gotta make this money, man. Gotta make this money, man. Come on, man. Gotta make it, man. But but that's what I was trying to explain, because I do. It's not like I don't like characters. The whole MCU thing that that just swept through social media while X is really a cesspool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start heading over to the threads and start I guess what is it called? Chirping or whatever over on threads, because just X is just wild now. I mean, it's always been wild, but yeah, it's just I'm kind of over X. And then there's people that's keep retweeting the guy who went to court after unaliving a police officer that unalived his son, and now they're showing the clips. It's just too much. What some folks on the internet is calling Black people. I can't take that. But back to more. But you know, I like this. I like this product, but let's be honest. There was a lot of stuff, and I make jokes about it, but they were literally running. Bob Chapek at one point was legitimately running Marvel's division like No Limit when they're just trying to pump out just because it's Marvel. That's the problem. What I don't think a lot of people understand. Because it's Marvel does not make it a good project. And they were pumping out, trying to make hit after hit. Oh, this is going to hit. This is going to hit. This is going to hit. Let's make content for Disney Plus. It don't have to be good. I just need content. And when you start just making content to be making content, I mean, this goes for content creators. When you're just making content, it's not quality. You're just trying to get a buck. You're grifting. You know what I mean? The quality of the product is going to go down because you don't care about the quality of the product. You don't care about the world building. You don't care about anybody. You don't care about this universe that you established. You got me, sucked in, no diddy. You got me in here. And now that I'm in here, you just go do what you want to do. And I compare it to No Limit because it was at a point at No Limit from 97, 98, 99, where it seemed like every 2 weeks, another artist you ain't never heard of. Where's Prime Suspects? You know what I'm saying? Where the Gambino family? Where's Lil Italy at? You ain't never heard of it. You never heard of them off of No Limit. But they were trying to crank out content, crank out song after song, content after content, because they wanted, it's about money. It wasn't even about the quality. I'm trying to put my people on. So I'm going to make an Echo series. I'm going to make She-Hulk destroy, some of these men, even though the target audience that you were trying to hit at didn't like it either. You're trying to hit this feminist, women first thing, and then you wonder why social media, got the go woke, go broke, and MCU and all of that. You literally opened the door to criticism, and then you try to, this is my clapback, and it didn't work. You know what I mean? It did not work. What up, Michael Johnson? Was good. Good morning. It didn't work. You had projects that was, flat out like, I'm talking about a banger. Like Guardians 3 to me is a banger because of history. You've been on this emotional roller coaster with this band of heroes for a moment or two. And now you're seeing one of the characters at his weakest moment. You're seeing his backstory, and it's heartbreaking. It is. It's very much heartbreaking. What up, Robert D? Did I say, what am I missing you, Robert D? If I am, I'm so sorry. I don't know what it is. I think I said Robert D. Did I say Robert D? Well, I think I probably didn't. I'm so sorry, Robert. I want to give you a hug because I feel like I'd be missing you. But you got this universe again that you created that got me invested, and then you make a movie like Guardians 3. You make a movie like and again, Spider-Man No Way Home is a good film, but also it wouldn't have cracked what it cracked if you didn't tease Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in that movie. Let's just be honest. Like, we got excited because as much as you could diss Spider-Man 2, you can't really diss Spider-Man 1. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is what I meant. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 went off the rails, but Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and his Peter Parker was really good. It was really comic accurate. It was Mark Webb. The movie was terrible. You know what I mean? But you can't deny him as a Spider-Man. You can't deny Tobey Maguire as a Spider-Man. No matter what you think about Spider-Man 3, you can't deny that Spider-Man 2 was one of the greatest comic book films of all time. You can't deny that. What up? Honest Justice, what's going on? Yeah, make sure to come on now. Get the likes up. Phase 5 movies were better than Phase 4. It's a mixed bag, and which I'll probably pull that up in a little bit. But So again, and then the Disney Plus products, like there was some really good Disney. Like again, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show was good, was really actually really good. WandaVision, peak, the pinnacle of Disney Plus. They did an excellent job with WandaVision, right? Agatha's not bad. Agatha's not a bad show at all. It's actually a really good show. I just don't care about setting up Young Avengers at this point where you don't even have your regular Avenger. This is and again, if you know anything about Dark Reign, that's what I said. Going back to the Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers, this is literally their version of Dark Reign. This is their version of Avengers Disassembled, and we're going into Jonathan Hickman's new Avengers story. You know, it's totally different because there's no Norman Osborn. You know, you don't have, the female Wolverine. You don't have all the people that was on there. You know what I mean? You don't have all the people you don't have all the players from the story, from that particular story. But what I would not deny that Thunderbolts is their own version of Jonathan Hickman's new Avenger. Werewolf by Night was really good. I like Werewolf by Night. Actually, I like the fact that they did Marvel Presents or Marvel's what is it called? I wish they do Marvel Nights. Honestly, I wish they do Marvel Nights. And I wish they would bring that back. I think it's a Marvel special presentation, but I want them to go Marvel Nights. Because if you're a 90s, kid, all about Marvel Nights when it comes to the comic books, and special presentation is cool, but if you call it Marvel Nights, it's going to be R-rated or in that realm is going to be bloody, gory, all of that. That's where you can do your Frank Castles. Hell, remember Black Panther was part of Marvel Nights, Deadpool. Yeah, or Deadpool kind of wasn't, but you see what I mean? It's just you got something there. What Marvel did not do was they did not world build and connect the shows like they did in phase 1 and phase 2. You know what I mean? Like I remember the what's up, Stargate and Enrique Hawkins? What's up? I remember watching, was it at the post-credit scene of Iron Man 2, where they go out and they find Thor's hammer? I could be wrong. Thor, setting up Captain America, and all of this. Mika G, shout out to Mika G for holding it down and all of that. No, I won't. Mika G, the devil is a liar and he's a deceiver and he's not in you right now. Where Roberta at? Get the holy oil on Mika G right now. She got that spirit in her. But so Marvel did so well with connecting their universe. They did the essential things. Like I said, I was listening to Mika and Blue talk about this. I listen to the whole thing, and Marvel stopped world building. They did. They just stopped world building. They stopped the universe that they had, and you don't see that universe like you used to. And that's a sad part. I give you a perfect example of this before I get to why I think Thunderbolts was peak cinema and why no one cares. Prime example, you just had Captain America come right before the Thunderbolts. There is a line about it. There's no connection. It wouldn't have hurt. Anthony Mackie would have been happy just to be on set to talk to Bucky, and we get a call back to Bucky and Sam and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You think as much as Anthony Mackie, what y'all called him, Captain Tupac? Just think of what Captain Tupac would have been thinking right then and there. Oh, y'all want me on the set? He would have made that face. You know what I mean? And he would have been right on there. You know what I mean? He would have been there. And that would have connected Brave New World to the Thunderbolts, right? The mid-credit scene. Yeah, you have, Red Gardner, Olasky Shostakov is talking to the lady about cereal. I'm on the Wheaties box. That is me. How about you do the mid-credit scene and you got Bucky and Captain Tupac, arguing with each other about the Avengers. Now, there's nothing wrong with the first post-credit scene because it's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's a payoff. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just say if they would have switched that to Sam and Bucky just arguing about the Avengers, the new Avengers. Captain Papa died. You know what I mean? Well, just think if you would have had that scene and what that scene would have represented. You know what I mean? Or you just would have had, a scene in the movie, towards the end, when you're having the end, like that's not my Avengers, which a lot of y'all was on here. Blue was saying it. Yeah, man, that's the BC list Avengers. That's not really an Avengers. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That was the whole point. Well, it was going in the Dark Reign, but that was kind of the point where the villains was the new Avengers in Jonathan Hipp's New Avengers run. So you got Captain Black Man, Leaky Vampire Hunter, and Sebastian Stan's Bucky just having just a quick scene in the credits. He's there. They arguing back and forth, but they're actually arguing and makes sense. And it's funny because of the dynamic that they had ever since Captain America Civil War. I had to pull that hangnail. But you see what I mean? So then that way, that movie doesn't feel so isolated from what they were trying to set up in the Thunderbolts. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I honestly believe that it wouldn't have softened the blow because Brave New World is just okay. But again, another movie that was filmed in the volume, that was, reshot to death, concept with, the hell with the concept art. Let's make this thing look like a gigantic harpy that's supposed to be the leader. The Serpent Society is wasted in the movie. Like, it's a lot. But with that being said, I'm wondering if, and I said this about Daredevil, and this is what's giving me, and I feel like, oh my God, I feel like Hawkeye when he said, please don't give me hope. Because Daredevil, Kevin Feige said, you know what? This ain't working. What I wanted to do with Daredevil is not working the way I wanted it to work. Fatal J, what up? What's up, Fatal J? So it's not working, right? Let me go back and get that Netflix team. Let me go back and get that Netflix team just for the fact I need that familiar feeling back. So the people that are watching this can't complain no more. Because I disagree. I think Kevin Feige hears all of this, and he's probably himself is probably getting fed up. I don't want this thing to take a L. This is too. I'm not counting Brave New World. Good God, that was just, he tried. It was terrible. But I believe when he pivot Daredevil and having the balls to say, I'm not sticking with this version of Taskmaster, and letting her be the sacrificial lamb to create stakes. The second part of that is nobody wanted her. We want Tony Masters. I want Deadpool and Tony Masters. You know what I mean? As Taskmaster to be on screen together. Just like in my Deadpool number, oh my goodness, I want to say number 63, where he's riding the red scooter. I can see it, I just can't think of the number. What's up, Progressively Relaxing? All right, Andre Ware says, thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. Thunderbolts should have started phase 4 and things should have gotten better and better. Absolutely, but I believe with falling on your face, you learn how to get back up. I mean, it is. You know, it is. It doesn't make it good. Like, it's not great. It's not bad, but it's not great either. And I believe, and I said this before, Azel Ray, what's up? Toxic Agendas calls, oh, my bad, hold on. Toxic Agendas calls comic book burnout. You're not lying. But let me make sure that I hook Andre Ware up with a super chat.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you so very much for that super chat, Andre Ware, for the $5 super chat. You said the cat's out of the bag. I'll be portraying Tony Masters and Doomsday. They just didn't have enough threads to put my name on the back of the chair for the casting announcements. Boy, you stupid. Yeah. But if you think about it like this, real quick. Think about it like this. Thank you, Kira Black. Thank you. Think about it like this. You know, think about it in a way. And this is the hope in me. And that's why I said, Kevin Feige, don't give me hope. I'm gonna go Ronin on you if you give me hope and you don't fall through, right? And you don't fall through. I think Kevin has heard all of the chatter. I think that's why he went from Jonathan Majors to Robert Downey Jr. before. And he probably already had that in the back of his mind before Jonathan got in trouble. It was just exacerbated by Variety. But look what they did with Centers. That's why I said, y'all want to go to the trades. And the way that they blasted Jonathan Majors is Jonathan Majors was this and Jonathan Majors was that. Jonathan Majors got in trouble. If they already had that in the back of their mind. If we can get Robert Downey Jr., if he can play Dr. Doom, you know, I'm cool with that. Because I want that old, that is all it is. You want your old girl back. Kevin, you want that old girl back? You miss that old feeling, huh? You see, you tried to go with new hotness and old and busted digits. Yes, fine. What did Monique tell Shannon? Go get your old. You ought to say to cook you some nut bones and greens and massage your feet when you get in. Make you feel good. Sip on your cognac. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you feeling real good about Club Shay Shay. Huh? How them young girls ain't gonna do it. And that's what Kevin was trying to do. Go get them young girls. Go want to Echo. Kevin, that was just the young girl. You don't want Echo. What you tried to bring Echo? Huh? Yeah, I understand. You wanted to go with She-Hulk. Well, who'd you have writing it? Huh? Wonder Man? Come on now, Kevin. Wonder Man? You try to get that out? You try to get that young OnlyFans girl? It's gonna get you in trouble. You know what I mean? You got a perfectly good T'Challa, and this is a piece of me really believes. Piece of me really believes they're gonna course correct on Black Panther. I believe it. I believe they're handing it into the Russo's hands. This is something Tina talked about. Shout out to Tina, she dressed me. Something Tina talked about. I believe the Russos will bring the real T'Challa back, but I believe he will come from the multiverse. Only reason why I believe this is because the story E-Man told, and I don't think E-Man's gonna tell no lie, where he was just like, hey, y'all remember that panel? You know what I'm saying? From Time Runs Out, or the first panel from Secret Wars #1, 2015, and you see T'Challa, and you see the incursion is happening, and he said, my Lord, my goodness, it will be, and he did say it would be dope if he's talking to the Russos face to face. I ain't got that kind of clout. I talk too much. I talk too much ish. You know what I'm saying? So I probably never be on the red carpets. I talk too much. I rub people the wrong way. No Diddy. Swirly Kings, what is up, my guys? What's up? Because just think about it like this. Who introduced T'Challa in the first place? And how well did they do that character? They gave, and I'm not taking anything from Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is an amazing director. People are still watching. Matter of fact, it was crazy. I go and see Thunderbolts. I seen Thunderbolts twice. I seen it regularly and I seen it in IMAX. Right? Seen it twice. Actually, I seen it 3 times because I secretly dozed off on my Thursday showing because I was asleep. I only had like 2 hours of sleep. You know, certain parts of the movie when you can't help it, you know, so I went back, just saying, and watched it on bootleg. And then I went back and watched it on, where did I go watch it? I think Saturday night I woke up, went to the movies, went to go see it again. I agree with that, Stargate. I agree with that. You know, but with them saying it, Tyler J, what's up? What's up? Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Jason Draymond, what's up? I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. And I'm not the one to tell, I said this last week, I'm not the one to tell anybody to do nothing. Do what you feel is best for you and your sanity. I just not noticed this. I know that my mic was I was on my headphone mic and I knew something probably sounded off. Because I've been digging. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot everything reset. But yeah, so I go and see Thunderbolts. I see it in IMAX. There was a good number of seats that I couldn't pick. Sinners was still packed. I'm like, what the whole entire hell? DeAndre, what's up? Mosley, good name. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier was better because they already told that particular story in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So Brave New World was aight. It was aight. Some terrible reshoots, terrible choices on the leader, you know, but I already seen the story in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And they just rehashed it. But it's all right. But I never watched it. I'm not going to watch it again. It's just, there's no, there. And again, that movie had no significance either. Y'all, just think about it. Brave New World had no significance besides the world being beat up by Red Hulk, right? To the future or the next movie that came out. You know what I mean? But let me take a quick commercial break and I'm going to be right back. Make sure y'all get those likes up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you know you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that have been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. All right, it is shout out to everybody who is rocking with me, who is part of the crew. You know what I mean? That's been holding it down for you guy. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to get them likes up. Get the likes up. And if you are enjoying this and you're lurking, just what are you doing up in there? What's all this live stream stuff, buddy? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and check in. You know, with your boy. With your man. I don't say boy, because I'm a manly man, and that works manly jobs. But anyway, but like I said, There's no significance of what happened in Brave New. There's no significance that happened in Brave New World at all that has anything to do with the Thunderbolts. And they were in DC. They were in DC. And the whole time I was thinking about it, I was like, now, Wilson Fisk is the mayor of New York. Now, I know that everything that happened with the Century and the Void happened within a, like, let's be honest with you, in a few hours. Nobody was saying anything about these mass vigilantes that are doing the things in New York. I can't have it as mayor because I'm here to protect you. You know what I mean? Like, there was none of that. And you need the world. You sort of need this universe building again. Now, let me get into this. What up, Xavier Phoenix? What's up? All right. Yeah, I'm going to go into spoiler territory. Thunderbolts is the best comic book movie Marvel's done in a long time. And let me explain when I say comic book movie. The reason why I fell in love with Marvel, especially in the comic books, because they're not thinking about power sets so much. I've always said this. Marvel is good about, you got all these powers, but what about your human side, right? What about the X-Men? Is where Chris Claremont was writing the X-Men? Guess what he was doing? It wasn't about how powerful Storm was, or Cyclops, or Jean Grey, or Wolverine, or Colossus, Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler. Thunderhawk. Nobody. Let's see. Is Thunderhawk? No, not Thunderhawk. Was he in the original X-Men? Anyway, none of that. It was like the bonus. But when you read those comics and going into the 80s with the New Mutants, like, X Factor, you sit there, you be like, dang. You know what's so dope about these? I can feel it. Like, Professor X is really a dick in those comics. He was treating those New Mutant kids like crap. You know what I mean? All right, Mika G. Mika G got you know what? For Mika G, I'm going to do a special super chat for Mika G. Because she's part of America. Yeah. Going to the world to see them day. Barley Boy, thank you for becoming a member. Being a part of the crew. Appreciate you, big dog. Let me go out. Let me give you something real quick, because you are part of the crew, and I gotta. Should I give you one of these new ones? Yeah, let's get you a new one.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you so very much for being a part of the crew. He said Gay Bacon. I got Gay Bacon on the next one. No, I'm talking about I don't know why I said Thunderbird. Did I say Thunderbird? I don't know why I said that. Dr. Carpy, what's up? I don't know why I said that. We were talking about giant size X-Men with Birds of Claremont. Where Birds of Claremont was writing and drawing. You know what I mean? But what I loved about reading those comics, you know what I'm saying? Even though I couldn't own a lot of those comics because I wasn't allowed. All right, Big G, but I wasn't allowed to have those type of comics. You know what I mean? So, but what made them good when I became an adult and I was old enough to buy my own stuff was when you read those comics, there's human aspects to that. There's real life human aspects to that where you're reading. Not only that, the original concept that Stan Lee had was it wasn't just like superpower, they just fighting. It's a villain of the week, superpower. There's human aspect to that. We just literally just seen that with Spider-Man, you know, Enter the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, where it ain't just not him being, you know, Miles Morales being a Spider-Man. There's different emotions and things that's going on with him that you're like, I'm actually feeling bad for this dude. Roberta with the $10 super chat. We need 29 more likes. What are y'all doing? Don't make me come for you with my blessed hands. Dragon, she want the Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? Hey, next time, hey, y'all send another super chat. I got you with the game banging. She said Dragon Ball.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
That's my guy, though. That's my guy. You know, Mikey D, what's going on? James Eagles starting ish early in the morning. You know what I mean? Dr. Carpy, like I said, next super chat, you know what I said? They want the game banging. I got you. And Marlon Moore, you better be glad I didn't put that on. I didn't give you that. What up, Dr. James Willis? I wish they could have done with the Void. But hold on, let me read this real quick. Because I told you, I said when I do my non-spoiler review, I want to hear your thoughts. Which I'm not taking anything away from what I would never take anything of what you're saying. Nah, man, who any of them in the Avengers, they never been. I would be okay if that they was the secret Avengers, to be honest. Done more of the Void. Okay. So remember, Jonathan Hickman's new Avengers, they wasn't the Avengers that long, right? And and in that run, you're just going into Dark Reign, right? This is Avengers Disassembled. We're going into Secret Wars anyway. So there's going to be a new team. What I would personally would like to see is the Avengers versus the new Avengers. I would like to see that. You know, the new Avengers versus the new team that Sam is assembling. Like Carol said, for the squad game banging. I got you. Where we at?
Gang banging, gang banging, gang banging.
Appreciate the $2 super chat. And then Robin D just gifted 10 memberships. Robin D, thank you. The only reason why I don't do live call-in shows, I technically don't have time, because you have to understand, I literally just got off of a 10.5-hour shift at my job. Stayed up to 7:30, now 8 o'clock, and is doing the show for 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, I just don't have the time. Oh no, wait a minute. Was it I thought it was Jonathan Hickman. I thought it was Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers. What Brian Michael Bendis was also a part of that too, I want to say. But let me shout out Robin D, because y'all asked for it. You already know what I'm getting ready to do.
Super chat, got it wrong.
I did it because I know it would get on y'all nerves. My cousin Manute is up in here. I liked it a lot. Too bad all the hate watchers created their minions would destroy it. It's like that. SKNL Sam, what's up? Enrique said that's how the real fight Hulk can beat the whole team. Okay. Because honestly, this is the reason why I want to see that fight. If the Sentry can punch the niceness out of the Hulk and he goes back to 7, and again, what Thunderbolts did, let me just say this. This is why I don't. Hold up. My stuff want to fall because I'm over here getting excited. Hold on, y'all. Got to tighten my theme back up. Hold on. There we go. This is why I didn't like She-Hulk and what they did in Thunderbolts. You're dealing with depression. You dealing with inadequacy. You're dealing with emotions, especially you're dealing with drug addict. They did it in Incredible Hulk, right? They did it in Incredible Hulk, but didn't explore. Oh, okay. I'm talking about the Dark Reign, that era. Not that one. Not that one. I'm talking about the Dark Reign Avengers with Norman Osborn scene. But what am I about to say? So, God, I just lost my train of thought. That damn quick. Dag nabbit. That just threw me off. Lord, I can't even get my thought together. Let me get to super chat real quick. Thank you so very much, DeAndre, with the $5 super chat. Do you think Falcon and the Winter Soldier would have been better as the first movie for Sam instead of Brave New? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let me go ahead. Yeah, most definitely. Because you got a better story in Falcon and the Winter Soldier than you did with Brave New World, because they already did that story. They did it better in the TV show. Let me make sure to hook you up.
Thank you for your super chat.
Never forgive Mac and me for throwing the kid off a ledge, but it's so funny I can't help it. Okay, yeah, dealing with depression. Okay, Incredible Hulk. He's dealing with, if I turn into I don't want to be, I'm having PTSD. I'm turned to a big raging monster. I tried to, off myself. I tried to delete myself off the timeline. All of that stuff. All of the stuff that the Incredible Hulk went through, She-Hulk undercut. And I did not like that. I did not appreciate that at all. That made me sick to my stomach watching that. This is one of the reasons why I don't like that. Because, yes, women, I'm not denying that women don't go through things on a daily basis. We got to protect our sisters. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they go through things on a daily basis. So do we. And because we're already in Mental Health Awareness Month, let's be honest. There are a lot of men my age and younger that will likely, delete themselves off the timeline more than their female counterpart. Because there's plenty of times that we don't feel adequate. If we don't feel like we're up to par, we turn to drugs, alcohol. We turn to, destroying our women and stuff like that. That's why I'm a big advocate against domestic violence, because we can't control our emotions because we're not getting the help. You understand? Or you understand where I'm coming from? Do you know? And I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again for you guys that are new. I deal with anxiety and depression. You know how hard it is to run a show that you are so hyped about and you feel like you just ain't making it. You feel like you're doing everything, but why? I'm seeing people getting, rich off of, I'm going to keep it a buck, off of coonery, off of shoe booty coonery. You know what I mean? And I'm over here like, this is just, I'm telling you the way I feel and being vulnerable. I'm telling you the way I feel. Some days I'm like, damn, I can't hate it because I already know what this world is about. They will reward the coonery. They will reward the shoe bootiness. They will reward the flip-floppiness. You know what I'm saying? If I can get on the red carpet, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a shield. I'll do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would disrespect, a major franchise if you could get me on your podcast. Or now that I disrespected the people that's a part of that, that love this particular film or love this particular character and all of that, as long as I can host a podcast, if you invite me to your podcast, I'll talk shit about all these mugs. And they get rewarded. But I already know. But sometimes you cannot feel inside when you're trying that you don't feel like you're good enough. And there's been plenty of guys that I've talked to where you don't feel like you're just good enough. I felt John Walker. You know what I'm saying? When, you're with someone and they don't understand the things that you're going through, but they want you to, hey, go get the baby. Go get, you don't even know what I'm going through right now. I'm hurt. You're not seeing this because you know, you want me to you want me to get the baby right now. He's good. Let him cry. I'm not feeling it right now. You know what I mean? And how hell of a story it is coming from what we seen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know, especially because he, even though he was a decorated soldier, he was put up there, even though he wasn't really a good soldier. Because what does a super soldier serum does? It amplifies who you already are. So that's why you seen him being a dick in the movie. You know what I mean? Elena Belova, she lost her sister, her family. She just got it back together. Remember, I believe now, and I was going to make a video about this, and I still think I might, that the Black Panther, the Black Widow movie was her story. Not real. It was, you know, ending what you knew about Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow character, you know, and you're introducing a new Black Widow. So it's almost like a flip-flop. You know what I mean? And it told her story too. Because we knew Yelena Belova was going to take over, you know, the moniker of Black Widow. You know, but look at how much she lost. And how many people have came home and all they do is work. Because they feel alone. I'm all alone. There's no one here to guide me. My troubles have all gone. There's no one here to deride me. But you gotta have friends. And that's what the Thunderbolts was. Everybody, and if you're really true to yourself, everybody's had a moment. Everybody has had a moment. And that is where but that is where Marvel Comics shined. Because there's been plenty of Marvel Comics. If you really are a Marvel comic book fan, like if you compare DC, this is the reason why I don't like reading Superman comics. Because Superman can fix anything. Superman can move a planet. Superman can bust through the you know, through time and reality. He can move time and reality. He could go in reverse. You know what I'm saying? It changed the world back. No matter what, he can fix it. He should be fixing Felix Jr. and not Superman. He don't need to go to him. He can do whatever the plot needs. Batman can do whatever the plot needs. Right? Plot armor. He can do whatever the plot needs. But the best writers write the humanistic side about him. When you're just wondering, is Bruce really crazy? Or am I tripping? You know, in Thor comics, depending on the writer of Thor, there's a dynamic with Odin, Thor, you know, Loki, you know, the Enchantress, all of these that are a part of the story that you're looking at like, damn, you kind of going through. Like that's good reading. This what made me love, you know, Marvel so much. Exactly, Gazelle. Like, you see what I mean? But then when you go, you know, you go to an X-Men comic, that's literally there all day, every day. You go to a Spider-Man comic, like Stan Lee said a long time ago, I wanted to have a character who just somehow, some way got powers, right? But he's also broke and he's struggling. And he can't fix everything with Bruce strength and webs and all of that. He can't even keep the love of his life. No matter what people think about One More Day, it's a really heartbreaking story. Really, if you really read it, it's heartbreaking. Matter of fact, Ultimate Fallout #4. But actually, Ultimate Fallout. The death of the Ultimate Spider-Man, entering in Miles Morales. That story is kind of effed up. Like, you feel like, damn, they really killed Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, And a great story for Miles Morales. And Miles Morales is a fan favorite now. We don't even call him Spider-Man. He's Miles Morales. He's just a Spider-Man. But it's not just punching and kicking and fighting. It always had to do with the human, the human element. I was listening to Blue and Mika last night. Valentina Allegra De Fontaine was about power because she said a line that was so dope. I think it went, change without power is an opinion. That's a bar. Change, or no, righteousness without, that's what she said. Righteousness without an opinion? Righteousness without power is just an opinion. Yeah, you can be righteous, but if you ain't got no power to make change, then what does it matter? What up, cool? What up, cool? You know what I mean? Like, that's a bar. So she's telling you, hey, look, as long as I got power, I can do whatever I need, whatever I deem fit. Wasn't that the same way Wilson Fisk thought? Like, if I got power, you know what I mean, in New York, I could be able to change New York and let it benefit me. That's a villain with actual motivation. That sounds legit, because every politician in Capitol Hill feels the same damn way. Every politician, not just the one sitting in that presidential seat. Everybody, every lobbyist, you see, it ain't just Trump. He's the centerfold. That's the one that they say blame him, but all the Capitol Hill feels the same damn way. That's what makes it intriguing. It's what makes politics what it is. Because then you got to pick a side of what power. Democratic Republic, not independent libertarian or other groups, because they just got you stuck on Democratic Republic when you could be like me, an independent. You know what I mean? But no, because it's the dynamic of power. You see the power shifts, and I hate him, I hate her, I hate them, I hate this president, I hate this president, this president ain't this president ain't that. That's because righteousness without power is just an opinion. So everybody gets that political seat for power. And it ain't because of you. They don't care nothing about you. They care how they can control you. And that's what Valentina Allegra De Fontaine was doing. That's all she was doing. That's a villain. So I don't like politics, because I look at everybody on Capitol Hill as villains. Everybody. Because what are you doing for the poor people and all of that? But, like in my city, they want to build a new Royal Stadium where you have one part of the city that look like Baghdad. Instead of fixing that up, we need a new stadium. We need the Chiefs to play somewhere pretty because they win at Super Bowls. But what about this side? Politicians care about power. Power brings money. Lobbyists, all of this. That's all Allegra was showing y'all. She was showing y'all true politics 101. John Walker was showing you the perfect soldier that is just he know he messed up. Remember, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as soon as he got Captain America's shield and got a taste of that super soldier serum, because he was already being a dick anyway. And his homie, you know what I'm saying, had to be like, hey man, we good. Walker, let him talk. Until he got killed, and then he took that super soldier serum and went crazy, because that was really in him. He already had that in him in the movie. So when he don't want to deal with his kid and he's talking to, Bob, come on, Bobby, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bobby. And then you find out that his wife left him with the kid. That's not a surprise. Not a surprise at all. Good continuation of the story. Red Guardian used to be a hero. Now you're driving limos. Just think about every NFL player that, just think about it like this. Every athlete whether basketball, football, whatever, who does nothing after their career is over with and you see them in shambles. Like, seriously. That's all Red Guardian was showing you in the movie. You can relate to that. How many times have you had a really good job and something happened and you don't have that job anymore? Now you just got to figure it out. Or you're not as happy as you used to be. You can't do the things that you want to do. The anxiety and the depression comes along. And you either laugh. There's some people, like I said, when you look at Thor in Endgame, that Thor was broken. He was hurting. Everybody played it up for laughs. That's literally what some parts of depression looks like. When you're depressed and you don't feel up to it and you're just hurting inside and you try to mask it with jokes. Go read Will Smith's book. That's how I used to do. I used to try to mask it with jokes. I used to try to be funny. You know, sometimes I mask it with this show. I could be going through. You would never know. Because I mask it. I get on here and I perform. Because that's the only thing that I know. And if they took that away from me, I don't know what I would do if this was taken away from me. That's exactly what Red Guardian was feeling. And yes, selfishly, like Blue said, did he want to be a hero again? Yeah, because all he wanted to do was be fulfilled. Feel like he's doing something with his life. He has a purpose in his life. How many times have you looked at yourself and you knew damn well you wasn't on your purpose? And you didn't feel fulfilled. You can have everything in the world and have nothing at the same time because you're not fulfilled in your purpose. And that's all this was. Ghost is a little different, though. Ghost was on the run for 15 countries. That's why we ain't seen her. Just ghosted. You know what I mean? Then she was just kind of just there. And Taskmaster, nobody wanted that character for real. That's why Taskmaster had to go. But the movie deals with this and it's embodied in Bob. Bob, and especially if you ever read the Century comic, like the 2000 Century comic, I mean, it's not one for one, but it's a damn good reinterpretation of that story. Because I know people who are just not fulfilled, who are turned to drugs and alcohol. Like people I went to school with didn't want to look me in the eye because they just going through. And the only thing I could do, you know, is not only just pray for them, man. You know, hey, man, somebody thinking about you, man. Or sis or whatever. You know, they just don't feel fulfilled. I've seen it. It is heartbreaking. Because they just didn't find their purpose. And everybody in that movie was looking for purpose. Bucky thought he was doing it because he was trying to change the world from a political standpoint. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you could just it's just as corrupt because you're trying to worry about whether, you know, how can I exercise my power for my own agenda? And then I think I heard, you know, hey, we didn't see none of Bucky stuff. Why? They already showed you enough of Bucky, what he went through in every movie that he's been in. We don't need to rehash. I guarantee you it was bad. They did it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's why he had a list. I'm also trying to figure out how he came in on the bike and drove and got all four of them and sat them in that diner. That was a question, but you know, that's from another day. But that's why it's really peak cinema. It's the perfect Marvel comic book movie. And the reason why I said this is because, like I said, I had to watch it a third time to understand this is just the comics I've been reading, just really put on the life. If you're a real comic, like, okay, give you this example before I answer some of the questions in the chat, because DeAndre, you had a question for me. So I'm gonna get to that question. Remember Batman the animated series, and they did the Mr. Freeze episode that wasn't canon to anything from the comics of his origin, but they made it with his wife and everything, and it was peak cinema for a 21-minute cartoon for children, and it hit adults in the gut. Why? Because you're just telling a good story, and they made the character compelling. And at the end of the day, that's all you want, is a compelling story where characters that you probably didn't even care about, you know, you can compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, 2, 1, you know, but you got a ragtag group of people who's coming together who really would sit there to kill each other. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, they would sit there to steal the orb, which actually had the Power Stone in it. You know what I'm saying? Celestial, we found out somebody got celestial power. So you can say it's the same story. I mean, because you got, you know, old Bob here, and Bob was supposed to be cooked in the fryer. But then the part that really I didn't cry, but it hit me, was when they went to go hug Bob. Because it's like what I said, what Jonathan said in Magazine Dreams. He said, what if somebody would have lifted that weight in the gym for his character? Like, somebody just lifted weights with him. Somebody went over there to go speak to him. I spot you, big dog. Don't worry about it. I'll come over here and spot you. What you got? That's it. Sometimes you see people and they hurt. All they really want is a hug. Like, at the end of the day, somebody, because I want to feel that somebody cares. That's it. I want to see if somebody cares. That's why the Incredible Hulk stories in the comics were some of the great stories. It was some of the great stories because he's dealing with torment. That's why it says peak cinema, and it's sad that no one cares. No one is really watching this movie. And I wonder, do they not care because Marvel fatigue? Marvel was going no limit, and I don't care about that music anymore. I'm on the Little John. I'm on the Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? T.I. You know what I'm saying? I'm on to something different. Or, and this is the biggest thing, they don't want to deal with that emotion because all they want to really see is punching, fighting, and superpowers. And if you think about it, that's a hell of an interesting dynamic if you really, really think about it.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Let me get to some of you guys' questions. All right, how do you feel about Sam not taking the super soldier serum? Stupid. I think he's dumb. I would have drunk that crap faster than all he's going to do is give him the power of conversation. His superpower is counseling and understanding, and we all need that from time to time. So it's just going to enhance his abilities to really counsel you, like really, he goes from from low-level counselor to PhD psychiatrist. That's what the super soldier serum will give him. You said, for what I'm seeing on YouTube, comic book characters are all about feelings, but not motivations. It depends on who's writing the story, where you're coming in at that story. If you're reading one, that's why I'm one of those type of guys that likes to get the whole story, so I get the context and not a single issue. Like Ultimate Fallout, I just didn't want to have issue number 4. That's the first appearance of Miles Morales. That's why I keep bringing it up. It's right there. I wanted to get the full context, so I went and got the rest of the series. Now I was like, holy crap. You know what I mean? So, and here I believe Val is that villain. She reminds me of what's her name from The Boys? You know what I'm saying, that Homelander was drinking the milk from, the one from My Adventures in Babysitting and Back to the Future. I can't think of her. I can't think of her name. But yeah. So that's just me. That's just me. But that's what it remind me of, though. But she is a villain, though. I mean, if you really think about it, like I said, the people who sit up in Congress, to me, a lot of them are straight villains. A lot of them. Elizabeth Shue, yes, thank you. A lot of them are straight villains to me. A lot of them. On both sides of the aisle. Marvel don't know what to do. They shot themselves in the foot during phase 4. Yep. Not Storefront. Elizabeth Shue's character. And the reason why I didn't say Storefront Dr. Carpy is because, and your Knicks beat my Boston Celtics last night. I was still kind of teed about that. They took game 1, okay. They took game 1 in overtime. You know, let the man rip the ball from him. I didn't like it. But, yeah, because she was trying to manipulate. Val was trying to manipulate the Century, but the Century was on it. And I know that, you know, y'all was like, Blue and Mika was like, why didn't she just push the button immediately? He still snatched her up pretty quick. Like, while she was trying to, like, throw him off so she could get the things to push the button, he snatched her up by the neck. So, don't do that, Blue. Stop it. You're not even a Knicks fan. Stop it. But, yeah. They're going to put the old Avengers as different multiverse villains for nostalgia. And you know that that's going to happen. Hydra Cap and all of that. Adventures of Babysitting is a classic, and the first appearance of William D'Onofrio as the dude that was supposed to be, you know, old girls was like, oh my God, Thor. So yeah, Adventures of Babysitting is a classic. So yeah, and I'm not mad about that. I really just want them to bring T'Challa back. Let him raise T'Challa Jr. and in 20 years, T'Challa Jr. can take over, and I don't even care no more. She was a Karate Kid, too. She was Elizabeth Shue used to be in everything back in the day. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anyway, let me get you guys out of here because the devil's a whole lie. And Mika talking about, you going to be on here 3 hours. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. No, it's not. But I believe that, and I want to see it again. I'll take mine this week. Okay, so Thursday, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do a show. Vincent D'Onofrio, what I say? Anthony D'Onofrio, William D'Onofrio, Vincent D'Onofrio. I'm tired. But spoiler warning, my twins graduate on Thursday. They graduate high school on Thursday. So I don't know. I might give y'all a show anyway, because sometimes it hurts for me to not be on this microphone. But yeah. And yes, I believe that too. That is very true. I seen the comment earlier. Yeah. But yeah, so the twins graduate. So I might do a show anyway. You know, I just might not be long because the brother got to do something with his head, all of that. So, yeah. So, yeah, thank you. You know, thank you. You know, so they getting ready to do that, to do the thing. And then their birthday is Saturday. So, yeah, I got graduation on the 8th, their birthday on the 10th, and Mother's Day, right? Because they were born on Mother's Day. So, yeah. Proud of my kids, man. Proud of my kids, you know. So, you know, and trying to prepare them for the next chapter of their life. So, anyway, thank you, guys. Thank you for all of, hold on, wait a minute. Is Shue in the movie? No, Elizabeth Shue is not in the movie. Yeah, they ain't babies no more. They not babies no more. And appreciate all the love, though. But let me get up out of here. Thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of the Dre Max Show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm gonna holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher. Don't forget, if you got a question of the day, put it in the comment section of this video. Where's my outro at? Look, y'all already know. Been on here too long, but you already know. I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.